During the last 12 months, we've been conducting a survey looking for feral cotton plants in and around our cotton production areas. The reason we've conducted this survey is to get an idea of the extent that feral cotton plants are actually out there, the genetic heritage of those plants, are they bollard plants, Roundup Ready plants, or both? And also what types of pests and diseases are living on these plants that might be coming and going from our cotton production areas. I've got a classic example here beside me of some feral cotton plants growing next to a power pole. And what I'm going to do over the next couple of minutes is step you through some of the many examples where we found feral cotton plants growing in our cotton agricultural landscapes. This is a common scenario that we've come across during our feral plant survey in Queensland, where the council has graded the roadside and incorporated seed cotton that was on the side of the road. You can see that these plants germinated last season. Winter has frosted the top off the plant and they've returned from the bottom and are continuing now to grow quite successfully. This is another common scenario that we come across, where you often have seed cotton that's germinated on the side of the road beside a guidepost. Often what happens here is you've got a bit of gravel which allows the seed to fall down and germinate. And anyone that slashes the road can't get these plants, so they survive. Another common scenario that we've come across during our survey has been the abundance of plants on drainage channels draining from the irrigation areas. Cotton seed has floated on the water, deposited on the sides of the channels, then gone on to germinate and form a perennial plant. One of the most frequent examples we've found of feral cotton has been cotton adjacent to roadside culverts like this. What tends to happen in these areas is that you have obviously the disturbance around the culvert with some gravel, which seems to favour the germination of the plants, and then the guidepost and the concrete structure here then protects this plant and allows it to grow for quite some time. We found that the majority of feral cotton plants occurred on roadways and within close proximity to cotton farms or gins. Clearly, these plants have arisen from cotton seeds spilt during module transportation. A high proportion of these feral plants contain Bt traits, and around 5 to 15% of plants were found to harbour cotton pests such as aphids or Solenopsis mealybug. Perhaps more alarmingly, half of the samples across all regions were positive for bunchy top disease. With many examples found growing within a few hundred metres of cotton crops, these plants pose a disease risk, particularly in a year where aphid vectors are abundant. The coverage of modules during transport is an effective way of reducing the seed source for feral plants. This message would appear to be well adopted for traditional modules. For the newer round modules, many of these modules are loaded with the open ends facing outwards, and if uncovered can still lose significant quantities of seed cotton along the journey. So stop to consider what's growing just outside of your farm gate, and think about some of the pests and diseases that might be residing on these feral plants that are just waiting to take the opportunity to jump your fence and come back onto your farm next season.